Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to do an album review on the latest Angel Olsen album, All Mirrors. All Mirrors. So, Angel Olsen is a singer, songwriter in the USA, and her previous album, My Woman, is one of my favorite albums in the year 2016 because it has such strong songwriting and such great personality. And Angel Olsen herself has amazing charisma on the tracks on My Woman. Tracks like Shut Up Kiss Me and Never Be Mine are some of my favorite of hers. And then we have this album, which is a change in style indeed. Instead of dabbling into indie rock and basically pop rock, this album is straight up pop, chamber pop, dream pop, more orchestral, more instrumentals, more synths as well. And yes, the instrumentals, they are very loud, theatrical, and grandiose, but the vocals, they are for some reason not as expressive or as charismatic as the vocals on My Woman, so that is one of my bigger gripes with the album. Also, another thing with this album that's actually not as good as My Woman is that it doesn't have as strong of a personality as My Woman. However, I'm not saying that this album is bad because I enjoyed a majority of the tracks here. The album starts off with the track Lark, which isn't really appealing to me all that much at first because as a single, it's very quiet and kind of low key. It has a really amazing climax in the middle and then it drops back down. It feels a little middle brow the first time I heard it, but actually it is amazing as an album opener. It starts off with these low-key sweet guitars and low-key vocals, which sound like they are gonna explode at any moment, which then happens. They actually do explode, and when they do explode, it's really satisfying. The soaring vocals and the bombastic drums, the ascending synths in the back, the strings, they are very theatrical, very dramatic. It is a very energetic and powerful opener for the album. And even though in the middle, after it hits its very loud climax, it sort of drops back down again, it gets quieter again, but slowly it whirls and swirls back up to a pretty noisy and dramatic ending. And then we have the second track, which is the title track, which is also a teaser single for the album, and honestly, I love it. I don't think it's as good as Shut Up Kiss Me. Shut Up Kiss Me is still one of the better songs of the decade, in my opinion. Dare I say it. But still, this title track, All Mirrors, it is a solid track. We get these alien synths, eerie strings, twangy guitars, spacey drums, and these vocals that actually soar on top of the instrumentals really well. They are compressed, but not in a way it's awkward. In a way it feels artificial and very luscious, very grandiose, very dramatic, and very... After listening to this track for the first time, I just really appreciate that Angel Olsen is going to a more cerebral pop direction, even though it didn't really turn out as well as I thought. The next track is Too Easy, which is a bit of a mixed bag. The first half feels weak. The songwriting is a little bit mundane, the vocals feel aimless, and the very swallowed up vocals, they are not good. They're not good. However, the second half is way better. It's a change of tone. It becomes super summery, intimate, and sweet, even though the vocals are still kind of muffled and swallowed up. I still think the tune is kind of pleasant and sweet. So yeah, this track is a mixed bag. Moving on, we have two very dreamy, psychedelic, and nostalgic tracks. We have the track New Love Casette, which isn't great, but I kind of like it for what it is, and I kind of enjoy it a tad bit. I like the pulsating, moody, deep, descending bass lines. We have sharp shots of strings and synths all over the track, which are actually a really nice touch. And I also like how nostalgic and psychedelic the melodies on the track are, and they're also really dreamy as well. The vocals, they are not that great, and yes, there isn't really much of a progression on this track. I wish it would hit a stronger chorus or a stronger ending rather than feeling kind of one note throughout the entire thing, but still, I like it. I'm not a huge fan of the ending. It's basically a rush of strings, which is kind of lazy. Same for the next track, Spring, which is actually one of the better tracks on the album. It is a glamorous piano pop track, and man, the melodies are so nostalgic. They're so psychedelic. It feels like a really beautiful, gorgeous, romantic walk down the memory lane. Again, not a fan of the ending. It's kind of lazy, but still, I like the track quite a bit. Afterwards, we have the track What It Is, and it's also a solid track. It is an upbeat pop tune with its jaunty strings and the skippy drum beats. Also, the crooned vocals, crash cymbals, swirly strings. The whole thing feels almost cacophonous. But the instrumentals are also really pleasant, and they stick together really well. And then afterwards, we have the track Impasse, which is almost completely different with the vibe that I get off of the previous track, What It Is, because Impasse is one of the spacier, moodier cuts off of the album. It's incredibly spacey, yeah, and it feels like a really long-winded, a very elongated crescendo. And by crescendo, I mean crescendo. It has a really, really larger than life, grandiose climax. The instrumentals are loud AF. It's actually pretty spectacular, pretty amazing. And then afterwards, we have three so-so tracks. We have the track Tonight, which is just kind of underwhelming because it's basically quiet, uneventful singing over some really, really spaced out strings. And the vocals, they feel swallowed up, they feel muffled, and they feel kind of aimless. They don't have a strong sense of direction. Same goes for Endgame. Yeah, the track is called Endgame. I'm serious. And it's even worse here. Not only are the vocals very swallowed up, they're almost non-existent. They try to be very jazzy in a low-key way, like very low-key jazzy, not very jazzy. But they're so low-key, they pretty much don't exist. And also the instrumentals, they almost don't exist either. It's really bland and frankly kind of uninspired. This song is close to nothing. We have the track Summer in between Tonight and Endgame, and it's this really washed out song. Unnecessary layers of reverb on this track, and the rhythm is incredibly low key. The vocals are directionless. I kind of like the hook here. It kind of reminds me of some of the synth infused rock hits of the 80s, but still the track is super washed out, and the melodies aren't really all that strong either. However, the album ends off with a strong note with the track Chance, which is a 6-minute long, genuine ballad, and with a jazzy chord progression, a jazzy twist to it, which I really love. It feels really honest, really modest, really genuine, and true to itself, very sincere and heartfelt as well, and it has a very dramatic ending, which ends off the album on a pretty high note, and it's a pretty theatrical ending, and I kind of like it. So yeah, overall, while there are moments on this album where I feel like it's a little too bland, a little too uninspired, the vocals kind of muffled and swallowed up, and in an annoying way. And also, sometimes the songwriting is just not there, the personality is just not there. However, there are also really well written tracks here with some pretty solid, grandiose, explosive, powerful, climactic, dramatic, cinematic instrumentals. Yeah. So, my favorite track here is the title track, and my least favorite is Endgame. I am giving Angel Olsen's All Mirrors a light to decent 7 out of 10. Yeah, maybe I'll make it a strong 7. So, have you listened to this album from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Yay!